Well, hello again. This is Bob Weir with the Cross Timbers Gazette. And today my guest is Tracy Murphree, candidate for the Republican nomination for Denton County Sheriff in the March 1st primary. Mr. Murphree is a veteran law enforcement officer who has extensive experience with the Texas Highway Patrol, the Texas DPS Narcotics Service, and the Texas Rangers, among other accomplishments in the field of law enforcement. He is running against Sheriff Will Travis, who was elected in 2012. All of these candidate interviews can be seen on the Denton County Republican Party website at www.dentongop.org. Thank you for being here, Mr. Murphree.
Thank you, Bob, for having me.
If you would please give our viewers some background information, such as education, enforcement, experience, family, etc.
Okay. The thing I'm most proud of, Bob, is my 4 children. I'm a single father. My wife passed away about a little over 4 years ago. I have a 9-year-old, 11-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 21-year-old, and they're my life. I went to college at McMurray College in Abilene, Texas, where I studied history and political science. I then went to the Texas DPS Academy in 1988, where I graduated and went to the Texas Highway Patrol. I spent several years in the Highway Patrol, promoted to the rank of sergeant, where I supervised 5 counties of state troopers and administrative staff. Then decided to go into the DPS Narcotics Division, and they sent me down to Houston, where I worked undercover, worked a lot of major narcotics investigations. In 1998, I was appointed to the Texas Rangers and sent to Denton County. My responsibilities as a ranger was to investigate major crimes in Denton and Cook County and assist the local agencies. In 2011, when my wife passed away, I retired from the Rangers and went to work for the Denton County Sheriff's Office. I was there for 3 years, in charge of their Criminal Investigations Division, their Narcotics Division, and their Crime Scene Unit. I left the Sheriff's Office in January of 2015. I went to work as a consultant for a company called Paladin. Paladin is a company which is they're developing new products for firefighter and police safety, and I get to go in and talk to a lot of smart people and help them develop products.
Okay. As a former captain with the Denton County Sheriff's Department, please explain the role and duties of an elected sheriff and that of the command staff.
Sure. You know, the main duty of the sheriff is to take care of the jail. Denton has the 9th or 10th largest jail in the state. Almost $30 million of the $53 million budgeted goes to the jail. He's statutorily committed to taking care of that jail. There's also a lot of other responsibilities. You have law enforcement in rural Denton County. There's an investigations unit, there is a narcotics unit, SWAT teams, things of that nature, general law enforcement. You have a chief deputy, which basically runs the day-to-day operations. You'll have an assistant chief over operations, which is your enforcement part of the sheriff's office. You'll have an assistant chief, which is over the detention. And then it goes down, you'll have captains, lieutenants, sergeants. They'll have various duties within the department.
And how are promotions earned?
Look, Denton County is under civil service at this time. So basically you have to go by what the civil service rules say on promotions. And of course they're earned through hard work and dedication, but also under civil service you're required to give some sort of exam, and then also put together an oral interview board, and the candidates are interviewed by supervisors and other people in the sheriff's office, and that's how the promotions are done.
If elected, what changes would you make in the Denton County Sheriff's Department?
I think the first thing we have to address is the morale issue at the sheriff's office. They're losing a lot of employees. Morale's been pretty low for a while, and I think we need to get in there and make sure these employees know they're appreciated, know that the job they're doing is appreciated by their administration and by the public. And I think once we get the morale turned around, there's a lot of things we can do. Another thing I would like to do is we need to reestablish our relationship with the FBI Terrorism Task Force. We have a very unique individual that works for the Denton County Sheriff's Office. He speaks the language. He knows the background. He knows the culture. He was actually very instrumental. I don't know if you remember a few years ago where the guy was going to try to blow up hotels in Dallas. He was actually part of that investigation. He's been pulled from from that task force to serve warrants. I believe terrorism is the main thing that's going to affect our law enforcement in the near future. And I'd like to reestablish that relationship with the FBI, put Denton County on the front line of fighting terrorism.
Well, here's a question that some people might be curious about. If an officer goes to the scene of an incident and discovers that someone is not in the country legally, can legal action be taken?
If the only thing they have is that he is here illegally, there's not a whole lot we can do. Immigration is a federal matter. Local law enforcement has no enforcement action as far as enforcing those immigration laws. Now, if there was a crime committed and he is arrested, then that's noted and that information is turned over to INS. The border is not secure right now. We have a tremendous amount of people coming across the border. I hope in the next legislative session something is addressed to give local law enforcement some more power in dealing with the immigration problem.
How about this? Have you ever run for political office before?
I have not, and it's been a great experience. It's been a very trying experience, but it's been good. I have served on the Sanger Board of Adjustment, which is an appointed position where you listen to people who want to adjust some of the planning and zoning things, but that's the extent of my political career.
What type of campaigning are you doing? For example, door-to-door, literature mail-outs, debates?
What I'm learning is Denton County is a big place, and what I'm doing is trying to get to all corners of the county, get to every town in the county. There's been several debates. We have several coming up, mailers, knocking on doors, making telephone calls, and just trying to get out and meet as many people as I can is the goal.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add about your campaign for the nomination?
I would, Bob. I think it's important to know. I'd like to talk about some of my endorsements that I'm very proud of. The Denton County Law Enforcement Association, which is made up primarily of employees from the Sheriff's Office. The Denton Police Officers Association, the Little Elm Police Officers Association, the Texas Narcotic Officers Association, which is a statewide association. Also, every Texas Ranger major and captain that I've served under has endorsed me, and I'm very proud of those endorsements.
And I suppose you have this information on your website?
Yes, it's murphreyforsheriff.com.
All right, and that will also be included in the written portion that I do for this interview.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you very much, Mr. Murphree, for being here, and good luck in the election.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and thank you for watching.